Okay, I'm back. So as I was saying, um, I'm going to continue making the facial groom of this character, but for the rest of the hair, I'm going to use a different workflow that was included in version 3 of Ornatrix for Maya. So today we are using version 3 beta. So this is still in very early development, so expect bugs. Expect some bugs here and there. We are still polishing this. Give me a second here to check something. Let me check if I'm live indeed. Okay, I am. So if you have any question, as always, feel free to interrupt and I will be happy to help. So this is the build that we did last time. We end up with this. Now I'm going to add the mustache first and then continue with the rest of the facial hair. So the new workflow, instead of creating guides and interpolating hair like we did last time, we are going to use hair sculpting, which is a new feature in Ornatrix version 3 for Maya. So I'm going to add a new hair object to add the mustache because I I want to show you this new workflow in a new object, so we don't change the the beard. We don't change what we already have. First, I'm going to save increment this and select my scalp mesh or the face. In this case, I have a separate scalp mesh to add the hair, this mesh, which is hidden, and here in the hair stack you can of course see also the shape of the scalp mesh node. So I get the mesh here and go to add hair to selection here in the Ornatrix shelf. By the way, if you see that the shelf now in version 3 looks very different, it's because we added all the brush tools and the new brush tools here in the shelf, and now the nodes are here in the Ornatrix menu here on top. You go here, Ornatrix, and you can just detach the menu if you want to see it all the times. That's what I do most of the times. So I'm going to put this here on the side for now. And again, I'm going to add hair to the selection with this button here. Then we get this groom preset dialog where we can select one of the default preset, and we just in this case we need the full ball, so we click that one and click create. So we get this pretty crazy amount of hair. So don't worry, we are going to remove that because we don't need it. So first of all, with this preset, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 operators or nodes. If you want to know more about these nodes, go watch my previous stream where I explain what they do and what they are for. Okay, for now I'm going to turn them off, and I'm going to open the attribute editor. And as you can see, when you click a node, you will see the attributes of these nodes here. So I'm going to go to the root node here, guides from mesh, and we are not going to interpolate hairs. We are going to sculpt the hair directly, so we don't need any guides. So I'm going to reduce the guides count to 0 here, and the rest of the settings is not important because we don't have guides. We don't need guides right now, and I don't need edit guides here either, but we do need hair from guides. So I'm going to turn on hair from guides. So his operator will interpolate hairs from the guides, but we don't have any guides, right? So we can go here to the viewport count fraction and reduce this to 0 because we don't want any hair. We will add every hair that we need. We will add it manually. I will show you how in a second. First, let me pick my tablet. Put it right here. Give me a second. Good. I'm back here. So we reduce here the viewport count to 0 because we don't want any hair generation. We are going to add each hair manually. And I'm going to turn on, well, you know what? I'm going to delete change width. Change width is used to define the width of the hair strands, like you see here, for example, here. So in fact, the beard and the mustache will have the same width, so I'm just going to copy this one, right click, copy, and go back to the other hair object. I have to select it here in the outliner, delete this, all this change width that we are not going to use, and paste the other one here. So we are not going to use the other channel, not any map, anything, only the values. And now that we are here, I'm going to rename the hair object to mustache. Let's name it OX mustache and save. Another thing that I want to do before I start grooming is turn on these options: camera facing hair and camera facing normal, so the hair will look better in the viewport. This will, you can see this, you can find this by clicking here in the hair shape node on the hair stack. So make sure is the hair display mode is set to GPU hair, and turn on camera facing hair and camera facing normals. Okay, so let's go. Let's start adding hairs. I'm going to bring back the menu here with all the nodes, and on top of hair from guides, I'm going to add an edit guides node. This node will allow us to add new guides and edit them. Okay. To add new guides, we have two options. We can use the plant guide tool. The name of the tool is plant guide, and the name of the node is edit guides. But when you use it on top of hair from guides, it will do the same, but for hairs. It will be a node to edit hairs, and this tool will be a tool to plant hair. So the same that this node does for guides will apply for hairs when you add it on top of hair from guides. So we may as well name this edit hairs, but the name is not very important really. Okay, so with edit hairs or edit guides selected, we are going to use one of the new tools here in version 3 beta. So we have first this new tool, which is called create. This is to create new roots, to create new hair strands on the mesh. You will scatter new hair strands on the mesh. So let's pick this tool. And by the way, the settings for each tool are not here in the attributes window anymore. They are now in the tool settings window here. So like any other Maya tool is the same. So when you switch tools, you get different settings. So it's important to have this tool showing somewhere if you want to change the settings of each tool. Let's see, we have a question. Tetsuo Oshima. Wait, you just deleted edit guides, now you add it back. Yeah, I just wanted to explain how it works when edit guides is below hair from guides versus when it is on top of hair from guides. So yeah, I deleted and then put it back. Don't worry about that. Okay, so we have here the create. Let me delete this. We have here the create tool selected, and we can change the size of the tool when we press and hold B, the B key, B, and we click and drag. We can increase and decrease the size. So I'm going to decrease the size like this, and wait a second, I'm going to show my references. So this is what I'm looking at, and always on top. Okay, so I have some references here. You can get your own references. Yeah, so let's go with that. So when I click and drag, okay, we got an error. So the as I say, this is a beta version, so expect some bugs. Some features are still experimental. So we click and drag, and as you can see, it is planting new roots as we click and drag. So I'm going to drag up to here, and it will generate more roots more hair strands, just like that. And we can set the length of these guides, of the new planted guides, if we go to um, here, to guide options, created strand length. By default is set to 10, and we can reduce this, I don't know, 3, 2.5. Oh no, wait, this is the guide width. It's here. Maybe 2 here. Okay, let's go with that. Now we are going to use the comb brush, which is this one. And let me increase the size of the brush. And I'm going to brush the hair like this to create a nice shape for our mustache, our hipster mustache, just like that. So you don't have to spend hours anymore planting guides one by one and then test the hair interpolation. You can you can do that. You can still work like that. In some cases you will want to work like that, but you don't have to anymore. Maybe you just want to do some concept art, something quick, so you can just add hair and start sculpting like this, and you are done really quick. So that's it. We have half of our it's frozen. Wait a second. Okay, we got a crash. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine that that happens. That happens. We can look into that later. For now, we are going to keep working on it. Let me reopen the scene. Get the stack window back here or here. The attribute editor. Oh, let me realign the window like this. There you go. And where is the hair object? Here is the mustache. Okay, so back to edit guides. I'm going to plant the to create the hair again, the hair roots like this. Okay, and I'm going to again set the length to 2 and start grooming. Something really quick like this. Make sure your groom looks good in different angles. So you refine the the silhouette of the hair in every angle to make sure it looks good on every shot. Maybe like this. There you go. A hipster mustache. uh, okay. Let me remove this intersection here. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, one thing is that I forgot to turn on the symmetry here in the create hairs tool. We have a symmetry option here, X, Y, and Z, right? If I use the symmetry option, I can plant new hair and we get mirroring, but since I forgot to do it here, I'm going to add a symmetry node on top of edit guides, strand symmetry node. Here it is. And there you go. Now, every edit that we add below the symmetry node, for example, if we add a frizz node, it will be applied to both sides, like this. You see? So in this case, we only have to groom one side, and then maybe we can shine Joseph. Hey man, hello, how are you? Welcome back. Okay, so let me turn off this for now, or delete freeze, because I want to focus in edit hairs for now. By the way, I'm going to reduce the guide's width to 0 so we can see the hair like this. And as you can see, it looks very nice and smooth. Let me look at my reference here. Okay. Now I want to add some variation. It looks smooth, but maybe too smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this to base and then I'm going to add a new edit guides on top, and I'm going to reduce the guides width to 0 as well, and here I'm going to add some variation. Remember that the stack works like a layer stacks in Photoshop. So I'm going to stack edit guides on top of each other, and they will work as layers. For example, I have the base, right? And I add another one on top, and with the comb brush, I'm going to comb the hair a bit more like this, just to show you. And here on top we have let me increase the size of this. Oh god, no. Not like this, just a little bit, Maya, there. Here on top, in below edit guides section here, let me in fact collapse all this because there's too many things there. So apply amount, you can reduce the apply amount. This is like reducing the opacity in a Photoshop layer, like this. And you can keyframe this, you can set keys here, so you can for example have your room in different positions, or add different tweaks depending on the shot, depending how close the camera is, depending on the angle, etc. And to this apply amount, you can also control the apply amount along the curve. For example, you can reduce the apply amount at the roots like this, or at the tips like this. You see? You can also add a you can also control this using a texture map or a strand channel created in the base here, created in the previous edit guides. But I'm not going to show that right now. I just wanted to show how it works here, how this works like a Photoshop layer. Anyway, let me remove it and add it again so we can have a fresh one. And I'm going back to guides option and reduce the guides width to 0, and in case we add new guides, I'm going to reduce this to 2, like this. Very good tip. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to make some tweaks now. So I'm going to show you how you can sculpt the hair using the different brushes here, starting with the comb brush here. So when you click the brush, you of course get the settings of the brush here, and you can just click and drag and the hair moves, right? You know that already. So here in the settings, let me collapse that. I'm not going to show you everything here because it's too much, and I don't want you to feel like this is complicated. It's actually really simple. Here you have the brush shape. By default, we have a circle. We can use a square and we can use a line. The line is not showing. Oh yeah, here. When you click and drag, you can see the line. So with the line edit, you can do edits like this. But this shape, this line shape, was created to use with the cut brush. When you use the cut brush, you can do cuts like this. You see? Anyway, back to the comb brush, and back to the round shape here. Okay, and we are going to jump here to this section, strand filtering. The first option that we have here is affect selected only. This means that only the hairs that are selected will be affected by the brush. Andres Aguilar, hey man, hello, welcome back. So to select hair, you press and hold shift, and you click and drag on the hair, and it will be selected like this, right? With any brush selected, you can have cut, graph, paint. Let's see, with cut, you can do the same. If you hold shift and drag on, wait, I have to go back here. So if you click and drag, it will select. With any brush, if you hold shift and drag, it will enter the selection mode. So back to comb, you click and drag and select some hairs, for example here, and you turn this option in under strand filtering. You turn on affect selected only, and when you comb, only the selected hair will be affected by this brush, and you can just comb, sculpt the hair like that, just like that. This is not new, by the way. This is not new, but I wanted to see how easy is to comb. It is to tweak the comb without destroying it, like that. So what I'm going to do here on the borders over here and like this, is reduce the length. This is what I see on my references, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get the cut brush and turn on affect selected only and decrease the size like this. Tetsuo Oshima. Oh, I like that click and drag for selection. They need to add that for Houdini. Okay. Yes, it's really useful. Okay, so here, to reduce the length of the hair, you can use either the cut brush or the shrink brush. In this case, I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to show you first how to use the cut brush with affect selected only. The point where you click, the hair will be cut up to there. You see? Like that. The shrink brush will instead scale the hair like this. If you click and drag down, it will scale up. If you click and drag up, it will scale down like this. And maybe this is what we need in some cases. We don't want to cut, we just want to shrink. So I'm going to shrink them like this. Doesn't really matter the point where you click and drag. It can be at the roots. And I'm going to reduce it like that. Select a few more hairs over down here and reduce. Oops. And here, this, I'm going to cut them like this. Okay. And I'm going to comb them. Oops. There you go. Okay. Here I'm going to reduce the strength of the brush a little bit so the hair doesn't move so fast. There you go. It's moving slower. I'm going to shift, click and drag, and repeat the same, a little bit of shrinking here, and a little bit of combing to reduce this, to eliminate these intersections here, like this. And move it back here. So that's it. You can just sculpt your hairs freely like this and spend as much time refining it as you want. The hair will look exactly as you want. Let me keep shrinking over here. I'm going to select this border and go back to the shrink tool. I mean the shrink brush. And shrink, 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 shrink. And the symmetry node, it's doing its job. So we only have to groom one side. Let me save just in case. Let's see. Okay, now I want to add some variations here, do some tweaks here. I want to make it look more like this and this and like this, and do the same here or like this. So I'm going to do that using the comb brush. Select, wait, the brush is too big. Select some hair strands here and do some of this and do some more of that here. You can create a little clumps like this. Trying to break the direction, trying to break this. Oops, no wait. This flow, I'm trying to break it a little bit just by adding some strands like that, and then we will add some frizz. Okay, not too much sculpting, just a little bit here. As you can see, this is more fun than combing guides. This is much more fun, it's not so tedious. So you don't you don't you don't want to finish, you just want to keep going, adding little details. Feels like in a ZBrush sculpt. And I'm going to keep breaking the flow like this. Trying to get them to cross each other like this, so they go on top of each other. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I'm liking it. Yeah. Okay, now I want to do the same, but in the middle here on top, get some hairs outside here to go outside of the main hair volume like this, and select just a few strands and maybe something like this. The same over here. No, that's too much. Okay, I think We can go with that. I wonder why they look like guides. This could be a bug. The hair should not look blue like this. It should look like this even when you are combing it. It should not look like this. And I wonder why. Because the guide's width is set to 0, so we should not see this blue here. What if we hide the guides? Let's see. I think if we hide the guides with this option, then we will not be able to select them. Oh yeah. No, wait. Yeah. We can do the selection, but we don't see the highlight. You see? I can select, but I don't see the highlight. Okay, I'm sure this will be fixed later. For now, we can deal with that. We can deal with some blue strands, right? Okay, now let's see. Okay, I'm going to call this, I'm going to rename this tweak 01, and I'm going to add another one. Oh, and just to show you the amount value here, we can see how it was and how it is now, before and after. So I'm going to call this tweak 02 and reduce this to 0 again. And I'm going to set the created strand's length. I'm going to set this to maybe 0.5. And I'm going to add new guides to fill this area here. And mirror is on this time, so we can go confidence about it and add some strands here like this. And as you can see, the new strand will follow the shape of the existing strands. But I'm not going to use mirroring because I'm using symmetry already, so I am getting some confusing results. So I'm going to turn this off, setting it to none, and plant some strands like this, and we can use this if we want to increase the density of the groom. We can just plant more strands like this, and we can remove guides, remove strands using this option, the delete brush here, and it works the same. Just click and drag like this and it will remove them. So we end up with something like this. Let me add a few more here, but the length will be 0.2. Oh no, wait, I am deleting. I have the delete brush. Yeah, delete brush is the create brush. That's okay. We got another crash. Sorry about that. As I said, some of those tools are still experimental, so Let's wait for Maya to boot. Let's continue there. So that's it. I am just now going to add some procedural details to the groom, like frizz and all that. Um, yeah, I think we only need frizz. Let's go with that. Um, that's too much, obviously. I'm going to reduce the amount. And the curve here to reduce the amount at the tips and reduce the outlier amount as well. And we get something like this. Okay, this is tweak 01. And you can still go back here to edit guides and keep combing the hair. Let me get the tool settings here. Effects selected only, and comb, and the nodes that are procedural will update automatically. Okay, another thing. Okay, Andres Aguilar has a question. Is Ornatrix version 3 beta working with Maya 2020? Yes, yes it is. Um, okay, let's. Okay, I was going to show you another brush here. We saw create, delete, comb, cut. We saw shrink, and I want to show you the paintbrush, the new paintbrush. The paintbrush can be used to paint colors on the hair, to paint colors that you can then render. Right now, this is comparable with Arnold and Redshift. The colors that you paint with this brush are are strand channel data that is stored here in edit guides, here in this channels rollout. They are per strand channel or per vertex channels. A per strand channel is when each strand have one color, one single color. But per vertex channels is like when you paint different values along the strand. So each vertex can have a different value. I'm going to show you in a new scene to make it more clear. Let me load a new instance of Maya to show you this. So I'm going to load Ornatrix here as well. Where it is? Here. And I'm going to add a plane. I wanted to see how this works because this feature is new and is not new, but it's not very used. I feel like users are not are are not taking advantage of it. So I want to show you how it works and how powerful it is. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to reduce the strand length. So here in edit guides, I'm going to first add a per strand channel. So I select this here, this line here, and click add. Then we add a name to the strand channel. I'm going to call this per strand. And then the name will be added here to the list. So now all the strands are black. They have a value of 0, right? So if I add a frizz node and I select here in amount channel, if I select this per strand channel, it will add the frizz effect only to the guides or hair strands that have a value higher than 0. The frizz effect was removed because all the strands are black. This is like masking. This is like a mask. It works like a mask. So if I go into edit guides again and select a bunch of guides, and I here in current channel value, here we have values from 0 to 1. Right now all the strands are black, they are all at 0. So I'm going to select some guides here and set them to 1 by increasing this value to 1 and click assign value. Now the frizz effect is being applied to the strands that have the white value like this. And if we go back to edit guides, you can see that some of them are white now, but they don't have to be white or black, they can be gray, and this will reduce the amount of frizz depending on the value. Again, this is a mask. Okay, this is a per strand channel. As you can see, the whole strand, the whole curve gets the same color. Okay, so I'm going to add a new channel now, and I'm going to call this per vertex because I want to show you how the per vertex, no wait, not here. I'm going to delete this. You go here to the per vertex channels, select this and click add. Again, per vertex. And now it's here. So if I select this channel, let me delete this. Okay, it is getting some default values, but we are going to paint over that. So select the channel and we are going to use the paintbrush. With the paintbrush, we can just paint the curve, paint any value at any point like this. Paint any value at any point, so we can apply the effect at different vertices. For example, now if I go to frizz again And instead of the strand channel, I select the per vertex channel. Now the frizz effect is applied to the masking or to the values that I painted in the per vertex channel, like this. And again, if I choose the paintbrush, and let me get the settings for the paintbrush here. The paintbrush have some default colors that you can use, or you can choose a color here. So I was painting white, 100% white. So I'm going to paint black now. And as you can see, as I paint black, the frizz effect is being removed. You see? And this works as well with the pen pressure of the tablet, like this. You can add really light values like this. Let me reduce this here as well. So you can just add the frizz only when you need it. And it's not just the frizz node. Most of the nodes, here is, most of the nodes can control its attributes using a strand channel. For example, in the frizz node, you can control the frizz amount, you can control the scale. If I add, for example, a curl node to make the hair curl like this, you also here have a channel control for the magnitude, for the phase, and for the stretch. Let me choose my per vertex channel here for magnitude and go back to edit guides. Get the paintbrush and paint the magnitude. We are literally painting the magnitude value like this. Let's set it to white, like this. So now that you know, oh wait, the window was too big, sorry, few minutes to something, the window was too big and I didn't realize. Okay, we are back here. So now that you know what is a strand channel and what is the difference between per strand channels and per vertex channels, now that you know that, we can apply the same here in this groom, because I want to reduce the width, the hair width, the strand width in this area here. And I don't want to paint a texture map just for that. Here in change width, for example, we can control this width amount, right? Using a texture map, connecting it here. But I don't want to paint a map. So I'm going to use a channel. Here in the list, in the width channel list, we don't have any channel because we don't have any channel here in edit guides in the stack. So what I'm going to do, and you don't have to do it like this, but I'm going to add a new edit guides just for the channels. So I'm going to name these channels like this, channels. There you go. And I'm going to turn this off so we can see the effect better. Again, I'm going to reduce the width, the guide's width, uh, yeah, I'm going to paint a channel here. So go, it will be a per strand channels. Yeah, a per strand channel for the width. I'm going to add a new channel and call this width channel. And it is black, it is completely black. So if I add it to the change width, it will make the hair invisible, because all the width values are set to black, to 0. The width is 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it back to none so I can see the hair, and go into root modes here to select all the hairs. I'm going to select all the hairs, and current channel value, I'm going to set it to 0 and click assign value. Now, all right, okay. Oof, sorry guys, let's get it back running. Everything is fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay, let me get it back. Rescale the scene, the usual procedure. Load the shelf, get the stack, turn this off, and go back to channels. So, as I was doing, I was showing you the channels here. I'm going to create it again with channel, and hopefully it will not crash now. I'm going to select all the hairs and assign a 1 value to all of them. Okay, now why I can see the values. Okay, for some reason I can only see the values. Okay, okay, it is all white. All the values right now are white. For some reason, I can see them when I am in root modes, in roots mode. But you can see now that all the strands have a strand channel value of 1. So if I go back to width channel, and here in the width, yeah, here I pick the width channel that is all painted white. Okay, it seems it is not all white. Something is wrong with it. Let me delete it and create it again. If we can't make this work, then we can show this later in another occasion. Okay, I'm going to set this back to none and select, oops. You know what, instead I'm going to use the brush to paint all the channels. I don't have to select anything other than the channel. And I'm going to use the paintbrush. Well, let me open the settings here. Paint black. Let me check why it's not working as intended. Oh, okay, I think I may have to send the target channel here. Turn this off. Let's see now. Okay, in this scene, what I did, here, for some reason is not working here, but you saw how it works. I'm going to show you that later when this bug is fixed. Okay, so we have this here with some frizz. Let me reduce the scale a little bit, like this. Okay, and I'm going to set the same shader as the rest of the beard. Which one it is? Yeah, that one. Okay. Okay, let's see. Give me a second to check something here. Okay, good. So I'm going to now work on the eyebrows. I'm going to just increase save this, and I'm going to add to the same scalp, to the same mesh, I'm going to add another hair object the same way we did before, and move. In this case, I'm not going to delete this one. I'm just going to move it on top of hair from guides. I'm going to reduce the guides to 0 and the hair count to 0. And in edit guides, as we did before, I'm going to add, let me call this base as well, base, and OX eyebrows. And this time I'm going to turn on mirroring or symmetry for the create brush, and I'm going to go here and turn on the mirroring to X. There you go. And let me get my eyebrows references. Whoops, I'm moving the stream window by mistake. Sorry, let me set this back. Just a sec. Just to make sure you are looking at the right thing. How was I moving it? Jesus Christ. Okay, there you go. Show me it. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. So I was going to get my references for the eyebrows. This one, this one. Where are they? Okay. There you go. Okay, let's start painting. Well, I mean creating hairs, not painting. So select the edit guides, create brush. Let me set the correct size and start planting guides like this. And reduce the length like this. Maybe one, and reduce the width as well. Like this. Okay, now I'm going to comb those guides. I'm going to turn on mirroring here as well. Oh, wait. Mirror. Okay, when I switch from one brush to the other, the comb brush mirroring is not working. Okay, so what I'm going to do is delete half of the guides. We have to check on that bug later. So I'm going to delete half of the guides. Guides options, delete selected strands, and I'm going to add a frizz, a strand symmetry node, like we did before. Okay, and comp again. Okay, reduce the brush. Let me get this window back here to be able to see the chat. Just a second. Okay, back. So I'm going to comp the eyebrows according to my reference. Let me reduce the guide's width here as well. So as you can see how easy it is. We already have a base. You just have to make sure to make it look from different angles to refine the silhouette. And there you go. It's not that bad to be the first try. Well, I mean with the base to be not that bad to be only the base. Let me tweak the width at the roots so we get something more thinner looking, and yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, let's do some tweak. I'm going to add another edit guides on top. And reduce this. Maybe the reason why I could not see the colors of the painted channels is because I had the guide's width set to 0 when I was painting the strand channels here. I had it set to 0. Let me see. Let me check. Oh, no. It was not set to 0. Okay. Never mind. It was a bug indeed. Okay, let me add some details here. Let's see. According to my reference, I need a little bit more strands here like this. No, wait. A little bit more strands here like this. And fill this little gap here. And lower a little bit more like this. So let's try that. The create brush again. And let's see. Add a few more here. There you go. A little bit more. Okay, all right. This is a problem. This is a big problem. We got another crash. Okay. Okay, you know how this works. Get the window back in place. Get the scene back. I hope the eyebrows are there. Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay, don't worry, we are going to look into this crash. This will be fixed soon. For now, let's keep tweaking this eyebrow. I was adding some strands here and hopefully it will not crash again. There you go, like this. Increase the, oh no. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop the stream here because we have to look into this issue as soon as possible, but I hope you learned the new workflow, how it works, what you can do with it, and how easy it is to just sculpt the hair directly without spending hours and hours working with guides. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And until the next time I'm going to finish the eyebrows and then work on the eyelashes and then the 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 pitch of false hair. What if we give it another try? I don't want to leave you like that in a bad light. Shang Joseph. Yeah, sure. I can look into that too. In Ornatrix Beta 7. Okay, sure. No problem. No problem, Shan. We are here to help. Okay, so that's what we have for now. We are going to leave it here while it looks good. Okay, so that's it for now. We are going to work on those bugs now, and I will be back soon with new info, new features, hopefully new workflow, and hopefully a new topic as well. So we learn different things. And thank you again for watching and for your questions. It's really appreciated. Um, See you later, guys. See you later.